Hi, everybody. I hope this is Sunday morning and you're actually hearing me share a few things with you about how things are going in my life. I know that a lot of you have been asking questions, you've been praying, you've been wondering, and there's been a lot of moving parts, so it's not always been easy to tell you some things this week. So, first things first. Uh, Last week I fell in the shower, and that turned out to be a really, really good thing. Um, Falling in the shower, my right leg was out on dry land, and my left leg was still in the shower. I felt crumbled onto the left leg. It swelled up, it turned purple, it did a whole lot of nasty things, but nothing was broken and it kept working. The right leg, however, which I didn't think got hurt at all, a couple days later really started to hurt, and eventually couldn't move my leg. Turns out I tore hugely the thigh muscle, and that turned out to be a blessing because the thigh muscle gave me such pain and inability to move my leg. I had to seek medical care. I wouldn't have sought it because of pain if it wasn't for the tear in the thigh. I also had a UTI and it had gotten into my blood, and that's all I knew at that point. Unfortunately, what also had happened was it got into my soft tissue. Not a good thing. A whole bunch of it got into the area around my hip. A really bad thing. So on Tuesday, they're basically not giving me a whole lot of hope that I'm going to be able to keep my hip, and I'm going to have it taken out. And then there's a whole process you go through before you can get another one put back in. Um, and I'm kind of just going, well, we got to do what we got to do. So on Wednesday, the people, the surgeons took me down to, I guess it was, no, Wednesday I had all kinds of tests. I had like about 7 different ultrasound scans in all kinds of places, from my heart to my legs to who knows what else. And then I had an MRI, and then I had a CAT scan, and the CAT scan guided this needle, huge honking needle, they were going to use to suck out some of the bad stuff in the hip, and there was plenty of really bad stuff in the hip, so they were really not hopeful at all. So by the end of Wednesday, we're scheduling up for Thursday morning that I'm going to have hip surgery. And I signed some papers that basically say, hey, we're going to go in, we're going to clean it out, we're going to see if it got into the hip. If it didn't get into the hip, you get to keep your hip. But if it went into the hip and we think it went into the hip, we're taking it out. If they take it out, they can't put another one right in. They put a spacer in. You can't bear weight on the spacer, and it stays there 6 to 8 weeks while they flush your body with antibiotics. Then you wait 2 more weeks to see if there's no bacteria after there's no antibiotics fighting them, and then they put the new hip in. So, you know, it was not an exciting time, and it wasn't real encouraging. However, there were a couple encouraging things along the way on Thursday, and so it turned out that there was all kinds of nasty stuff all over the place in the soft tissue. But when they got to the hip itself, and what they do is they actually changed their gowns, their gloves, their equipment, everything. And then they went back in with really clean new stuff and checked the hip, and there was nothing in the hip. So it looks like the hips, I get to keep the ones I already have. So that's a good thing. So that was Thursday. Um, but there's there's an infection in the blood, and even though they've cut it out of the soft tissue. So I'm on every 12 hours. I'm on a IV antibiotic, and to help fight with that. The On Tuesday, I have another test. It's some kind of an echocardiogram. They go down your throat. There's a real name for it. I don't know what it is. They want to make sure that none of the uh, bacteria has deposited itself in my heart valves. The pre-test that they did, uh, which isn't quite as accurate, didn't show any. So that's a good thing. But they want to be extra sure. So after I get that, it seems that, within a day or so, I will be moving to Bacharach for physical therapy and continuing antibiotics. I will be on antibiotics through IV for 6 to 8 weeks. And then, hopefully everything is hunky dory. So we'll see how that all works out. Um, I appreciate you all praying. I hope I didn't miss anything that was important to tell you. But now at least everything's kind of not moving parts as much, so we can tell you these things. So I appreciate you praying. I've been praying for you guys, and I hope that you can uh, enjoy a little bit of time together this morning with each other. Maybe you can pray for each other, and then chit chat and catch up. So see you soon. I'm hoping really next Sunday to actually be able to join you in for the real deal. So we'll see how that works out. God bless. Goodbye.